Hi everybody, this is Kradzka from the Deep Video Divers deck, scoping out Knockout League on the PlayStation VR. Knockout League may be one of the most challenging games that I've played on PlayStation VR so far. The game will challenge you both mentally and physically. While most of the PlayStation VR games that have you play from a standing position can get tiring, Knockout League is, well, in a different league. It's both addicting and visually stunning, especially if you're playing on a PlayStation Pro. Not only will you be throwing jabs, crosses, and uppercuts, but you'll also be dodging in several different directions, which can be extremely tiring. Typically after dodging, you'll get the opportunity to counterattack your opponent. However, I found myself being too slow to return some of the punches sometimes because I was actually fatigued. This may not be a problem for everyone because you might be in much better shape than me, but to be fair, I just played this game for about 4 hours straight. I'd recommend keeping something on the ground that you can feel, that way you can keep an idea of where you are in the room physically. Since you move quite a bit in this game, it's easy to end up in a very different spot from where you started, resulting in sometimes headset drift or even on your move controllers, meaning you're going to miss some hits. Or in our scenario, hitting the actual PlayStation camera stand or your editor who may have accidentally just deleted the review you spent an hour typing up. One of the cool features in this game is that you can actually track your calories, which makes sense because every time I've played, I've gotten extremely sweaty after I've finished a session. Knockout League does offer a couple of different training modes, and they are kind of hard, so for the review we actually just played them on easy because anything harder than that was just embarrassing. The first training exercise has cannons shoot objects at you, and you're required to react to them appropriately. Your options are to punch with the correct hand, dodge, or block. This part can actually get more overwhelming than you think. Next is the speed bag. This one's pretty straightforward. You hit the bag at the appropriate speed. The last training exercise, which I found to be the most difficult, is the combo and dodging exercise. Here, the coach yells numbers and directions at you that correlate with punch types and dodging maneuvers. And when you mess them up, he does not hesitate to let you know how displeased he is. The actual fighting in this game is what makes it so fun. Each opponent can be challenging until you figure out exactly how to defeat them. And even then, when you know how to ace each one, it's still physically taxing. It can take a few attempts to figure out exactly how to beat these guys because they each have different attack animations and attack speeds. Be careful not to get too cocky though, some of the opponents in this game will humble you very quickly. It took me sometimes more than 10 attempts before I actually beat some of these guys. I did need to take frequent breaks because I got so sweaty I had to wipe off my head and the actual headset for the PlayStation VR. It's not a bad idea to keep some lens cloth nearby and probably a large glass of water. Don't be discouraged if it takes you a long time to figure out how to defeat some of these opponents. This is actually my favorite part of the game. Most VR titles can be beat fairly quickly, but this one gives you a challenge that lasts more than just a few hours. Even after you beat the game, it's got a lot of replayability with leaderboards and, for the first time, justification not to go to the gym and play video games at home instead. At the time of this review, Knockout League was about $30 on the PlayStation Store, which is more than a fair price for a game that's this much fun and something you likely won't just play once and never pick up again.